We are Facebook Live. How does it get any better than that?
I'm very excited. Hi, I'm Rachel. That's Helen. And
hi, I forgot to introduce myself, but if we are in that group or on, maybe because we are on your group, people don't know me.
Not on my group. We are on Being You Without Hiding, which is our Facebook group together to play. And it was really funny, last year when we put the group together, when we both chose to become facilitators for the Being You body of possibilities. I'm not going to call it a body of work because it ain't work.
It's just play.
Yeah. But at that time it was, oh my God, we have to come out of hiding. Oh, it's all about that. We're hiding.
Let's try and create all of that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, podpoc, shorts, boys.
By the way, this is just a spontaneous Facebook Live. We're going to be talking about tools of access consciousness based on Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here founding that. And the clearing statement is explained on the clearingstatement.com. So we might or might not use it a lot during this talk. We're just going to talk about it.
I have no idea. We're showing up. We're just going to begin to explore. And we might show up a lot more often than you realize, exactly where you see us right now. or possibly just in the group.
Whatever it's going to be. It's just like gratitude, because we're choosing to kind of like spend the next, months, 2 months, 3 months looking at what is gratitude and how can we use that to our advantage.
And including more of that in our lives. And both Helen and Hi, both hello, how are you? Both Helen and Hi have had a really interesting experiences with different people's choices, with our own choices, with our willingness to be us. This has really been the year or year and a half or whatever you want to call it of holy fucking mother of whatever, neck to the wall, back to the wall kind of thing. Like you gotta
like through the head too.
Yeah.
And yet, looking at over the last couple of years, 5 years, 20 years, my life, pretty much my gratitude keeps growing for access consciousness, for the tools we have, for Gary and Dane. It shifts and allows totally different reality. And what's interesting, I was talking to a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and she was like, she actually probably will be taking a bus class with Rachel next weekend.
Yay!
She was talking to me. It's like, I cannot believe that what you're going through, another mother would probably be rolling on the floor crying.
Yeah.
And we're just here having tea, laughing, and everything is like it should be. Like life is wonderful. And to me, part of it is being in gratitude for whatever it is, no matter good, bad, or ugly.
Well, that's part of the mantra of access. I'll click on it so we have it in front of us. But that's one of the massive, really massive tools in access. And it is written everywhere. It's written on business cards. It's written on the banners that we have, like for trade shows and expos. It's what?
On the manuals.
On the manuals, on the website, pretty much like everywhere you look, there's this invitation to be a different space in the world. And it's all of life comes to us with ease and joy and glory. And it's really interesting. They've had some really full-on flooding in Costa Rica, for example, where El Lugar is, this resort that you're a part of, that Access is building in South America, in in South
In
America,
Costa Rica.
like
In Costa
Central
Rica.
America, and in Costa Rica,
It's Central
with
America.
all the rain, um, and all of the trauma, and oh my goodness, and houses washing away, and some of the really intense things that have been going on. We've been getting updates. There's a Telegram group where we get updates from Claudia Cano, who's there on the ground, kind of filling everybody in, doing whatever's required. But her energy on the videos, because of these tools, was not panic stricken, was not freaked out. It was such an immense, spacious pleasure to listen to how she's describing what's going on. And it's the difference of living, knowing that and having these tools and having gratitude, and truly, like, really knowing that and that you're contributing, you are creating your reality, your world, with the way that you be. That, like what your friend was saying, somebody else would be pulling their hair out and screaming and crying and beating their chest and whatever, and here you are and here I am, and we're cracking jokes and we're making fun and we're relaxing into being. And this year has been really the unhiding. Fuck the unhiding, actually. This year,
Because it's not about
being.
the space of
Being.
be.
Yes.
And that's where that gratitude, allowance, and kind of like being with everything, doesn't matter how bad, ugly it is, it still can be joy.
Yeah. Because
So,
we can choose to have that ease with it. It doesn't mean that things are easy.
no, it's not about easy.
Not for me, not for lots of different people.
Yeah, it's about choosing something different. Okay, shit happens. Let's clean it up and let's move on. Instead of smelling it, looking at it, tasting it.
Oy vey. No,
Yeah.
or analyzing it, there in the toilet, you just, you had your little poopsie. You don't have to sit there with a magnifying glass trying to count all the different seeds in it and classifying them. This came from that experience or that thing that I ate. And the other thing came, is, one of the things that just drives me freaking batty is the having to figure out all of the difficulties and all of the problems and all of the, we've got to talk this through and really get through it. And what I find for me, whenever I invest myself in something, I put my energy on something, there's more of that. So if I'm fixated on problems and on difficulties and on pains and on struggle and on overcoming, well, guess what? I get more on my plate to deal with.
Of course, those, because our point of view creates our reality, and law of attraction. Even there, it's whatever you're looking at, whatever you put your attention at, that's what you attract. The more you look at the problems, the more you attract problems. The more you complain about pain. There is even that invocation, like when we talk about magic, the witches, what did they do? They do the invocation, which is a repeating same words over and over again until things actualize.
Helen, how often do we do that when we complain?
That's exactly what I was going to say. When we complain, we keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating, so eventually we create more of it.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't have it. Even if it was not even ours.
Yeah. Oh, speak more about that, please. What do you mean it's not even ours?
Because we're SpongeBobs for other people's problems, other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions, and even pains. How many of us walk in the room and suddenly we are depressed because a couple of people in the room are depressed? Or we get happy. I would prefer going somewhere where people are happy so I can attract that in my life. But no, we go usually to the friend who needs us and hear the complaint.
Yeah. And most of the time they're not like thrilled and grateful and happy to be alive. And so I don't meet very many grateful people, except when we get to access classes. And, that's what I love about the access classes, because you're surrounded by other people that are willing to choose more, and they're willing to know that something else is possible and something else is available. I mean, for me, this entire last, it's not quite a year and a half, but since the pandemic began, oh my goodness, some of the threads that we've been on, the WhatsApp threads or the Telegram threads, where they're filled with possibilities, with jokes, with lightness, and not taking the pains and the struggle and the suffering of the world on our shoulders, but with whatever situations come up, there's actual lightness. And that lightness creates more lightness in the world. Like whenever I look at the Maestro thread, for example, I smile, I can
there are always jokes. There are always jokes. There are always inspirational messages. And what if we can be that in our everyday life for everybody, but also choose more being grateful. And right now, just looking what I found in my last podcast, I was talking about judgment and karma, and what came up was the antidote to karma is gratitude and allowance.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably mixed together. As you and I were just on a telecall with Dr. Dane here and Emily Russell on allowance. And I had done 3 calls with Dane like a year and a half before about being an interesting point of view. And I always write reminders to myself. This is mostly, kind of rubbed off, but I write what else is possible, an interesting point of view to remember. The thing is, when we're in that space of allowance is where gratitude can rush in, is where we can choose to be the gratitude that really fucking changes everything. Like there is no relationship that I've been in the last, I don't know how long, that when I step back and I ask, how much more gratitude can I have and be here? How much more allowance can I have and be here? There is nothing that hasn't improved tremendously.
Yeah. And the more we are in gratitude, the more we attract those things that we're grateful for. So if we're, okay, maybe we woke up and it's not as joyful as we would like it to be, start asking, first of all, who does it belong to?
Yeah.
And what am I grateful today? And just think of 3 to 5 things that you're grateful in this moment. And believe me, you'll find 3 to 5 things. Even that the sun is shining and I'm breathing.
Yeah. And you have eyes to be able to see the shadows and the contrasts that are out there in the world, or that you could see the things that are there. It's
and you have the roof over your head. Even if you don't, okay, maybe you have food, or maybe even if you don't have food, there is something you can be grateful for. And the more we look at that, what we are grateful for, the more we start recognizing how amazing our lives are.
Yeah.
Even
what's really interesting? What you were saying before about going into a room, and when you're in a room with people who are grateful, with people who are relaxed, with people, or even not even in a room with that, but when you're willing to be the beacon of that, then other people begin to see that there is that possibility for them as well. And it's like everyone chooses greater, and the fixation in the world, rather than on difficulty and pain and suffering and revenge and all this other stuff that just kind of takes us downhill, would be for something more generative, for lack of a better word, something that's more open and creates more possibilities. And I'm wondering what it would be like. I'm not very good with writing things down, I have to admit. I suck at that. I really suck at that. for a day or 2 days or 3 days. What am I grateful for? And then I'm like, rah, rah, rah. But I be gratitude when I'm looking at the plants on the balcony, when I take moments to be gratitude. I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah,
But
because it's not about saying it or writing it. It's more about actually being it. And you can, doesn't have to be in the morning, doesn't have to be at night. Just whenever you remember, whenever you see something that you're grateful for, just say thank you.
yeah,
Or to people around you, just say thank you. They might not be able to hear some of them, but you can say it
you don't
silently.
even have to say it out loud. Yeah, silently. And it's
Silently
amazing.
works too. Just say, or to the birds. Like I was outside for about 5 minutes because today Chicago is at 97 degrees. For all of you in Europe or everywhere else that other than the States, it's about 36 to 37 degrees Celsius. So it's very hot. And even the birds, I think, were sleeping at that moment.
Yes.
But I was still grateful that I was able to go outside for that 5 minutes and just kind of like look outside. And I did a little like stretching and a little meditation there in the shade. And how much more can we create in the world if we be in that space of gratitude instead of anger, shame, blame, regret, all those destructive thoughts?
All those things that just don't
They don't
work.
work. They don't work.
Yeah. No,
And
to me, the gift of gratitude is the gentleness, that meltiness, of what's possible. It's literally the vibration of possibility. That it sounds so woo, and I'm thrilled to explore it. And I'm wondering, say hi to Rachel, by the way.
yeah, she's like in the kitchen, I think. But
Okay, cool. Give her a hug for me. But that's
absolutely,
one of the beautiful things is when we begin to invite more gratitude, it begins to build up. So I'm curious when we start getting together, what this will look like. I have no idea, but
no,
I'm really thrilled to just play with gratitude for the next few, who knows how long,
yeah.
with you.
And it might be every day, it might be twice a day, or might be every other day, or once a week.
Yeah.
So just catch us when you can, and there would be replays in the group.
In the Being You Without Hiding group on Facebook. You guys are welcome to join us there. We'll put a link on our pages to the group in case you'd like to hop on, but that's where we're going to be going live from here on out.
In the group, maybe still on the pages as well.
Maybe.
Abundance within and the joy of being.
Yeah. So we'll follow for sure in the group.
For
And
sure, in the group, definitely in the group.
yeah.
So, see you later.
Thank you. Give Rachel a hug for me. And how does it get even better than that? Onwards and upwards for more fun adventures. Hello. See, double Rachel. We got a Rachel Helen sandwich. Get in over there. Squeeze into this side. Rachel, get in. Helen, move to the edge of the screen. Okay, so we're doing a double Rachel and a Helen on the side.
Wait, I'll go on the other side. The other side, because this is a mirror image, which is kind of like a weird. There we go. Here we go.
So there we go. But Helen, you got to move to the side, and Rachel, squeeze her over closer to the. No, other way. There you go. Yay, we're getting our sandwich in. I like it. Yay.
We have Bella here as a sandwich.
Oh, I was going to say, Canella just walked up.
And Bella too. All right. Okay.
Awesome. All right. So thank you.
When gratitude, everybody shows up.
Exactly. That's so cool. Gratitude just melts everything. I love that. I love that. All right. So we'll see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye. And bye, Helen. Thank you.
Bye.